This is the KoperCrabb Podcast. KoperCrabb Podcast. Sorry, I didn't really enunciate that one.
I'm Cheney Crab.
I am Naveen Copperweiss.
That's why we call the podcast KoperCrabb. Get it?
Yeah, it's Copperweiss mixed with crab.
If you guys want to submit questions to the podcast, send them to KoperCrabbPodcast@gmail.com or put them in our Instagram messages. I lied and said before that I didn't really check those, but I do.
And
Surprise.
you can Instagram message either one of us. Actually, someone did sent me an Instagram message about our last episode, Janie.
What was the message about?
Well, we were kind of like talking smack about, what's that? What's the dating site called? It's the not gay grinder.
Tinder.
Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh, what's up with Tinder? That probably is like horrible, blah, blah, blah. But this guy was like, or we were wondering,
We did not say it was horrible. Yeah, don't misquote.
No, we said it. I think I said it would probably be horrible being on there.
Oh, probably be as an experience for sure. It's not a horrible site.
No. Oh, let me fix your mic here. Get you in frame.
Thank you. Full frame crab.
Framed up. But I was saying, oh, that must be terrible to be on there, Tinder or whatever.
Yeah,
but this guy was like, hey, straight up, bro. I was on there. The first date that I went on, I met my wife.
That is amazing. I wonder congratulations to the guy who hit you up on whatever. And that is amazing.
He hit me up on Grindr. He sent me a little
in your DMs. But that's awesome that they met that way.
He sent me a nice long message, but
I wonder how often that happens.
I don't know. It's the first one I've heard of, but I don't know that I have that many friends that go on Tinder, really.
I have some friends who go on Tinder for sure.
Yeah. So
that's all we have to say about that.
That's if you guys were wondering that cliffhanger about last episode, what was going on with the Tinder thing, there you go. Now you have an example of something good that's come out of Tinder.
I did the number one worst thing that you can do when you're on a radio interview show.
What?
Such as this. I was chewing gum just now and I had to swallow it.
Oh shit. And you just swallowed it? Like, okay, I'm going to take one for the team?
Yeah. And they say that gum takes what's the old wives'
7
tale?
years, dude.
Yeah, it takes 7 years for gum to absorb.
Digest.
That's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
See, that's what Naveen is always my rebound man, because it happens often that I cannot think of the word that I am trying to say. Maybe I have stage fright. See, that's why I've always thought I was a better writer than I am speaker. So
that's true.
Why I decided to do a podcast instead of write books, who knows?
That's why everybody has arguments now in texts, right?
Totally.
Because they're like, okay, I'm going to write a text this long. I'm going to proofread it.
And it's going to be spaced into paragraph format.
I'm going to have all my little thesis, right?
Yeah, well, first you start with an introduction paragraph as to why you're wrong. And then you state the thesis in that.
It starts off like, first off, I'm so offended because...
Well, this is how it starts.
This is a millennial thing,
by the way. How it starts. First of all, the thing that pissed you off that you're going to talk about, it happened like last night or the day before, and you took some time to really think it out.
Sometimes it happens even longer than that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like old shit.
And then you get this message that says, I just wanted to let you know that I don't dislike you. There's a whole I
actually don't know, because if anybody were to send me a message, one of those real long millennial messages, I don't think I'd be friends with them anymore.
Yeah, I think that's really what I've also had to do.
If you actually had a problem with me, you give me a call, bro.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
Why?
Give me a call. Furthermore, you shouldn't be having problems with me.
I know.
I didn't do anything.
Why? What did I do? First things first, what could I have possibly done?
I didn't do anything wrong. So
that's always my response in every. Yeah, but I've encountered a few and they haven't been directed at me most of the time. Well, there's one time I can remember that one was directed at me.
In recent memory.
Fairly recent, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've had any of those.
Excuse me.
But as you guys can tell, we're cutting a little, mom and dad are cutting a little loose tonight. And
are we?
I think this is my third beer.
I have not cut nearly as loose as you.
I'm feeling a little wild tonight.
I drank, I think, a half a beer, and now I have a glass.
Actually,
of whiskey.
can I have your half? I want to mix it with mine. Is that gross? It's a faux pas.
If they're different beers, it's a little gross.
They're the same brand, different.
Same party pack.
Style. Yeah.
No, but.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's strictly a millennial thing because the person, the one that I can think of getting wasn't from a millennial. And I just think that it's a method of writing that people use to kind of bare their hearts.
Yeah, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I've done some millennial style texts like that.
Lately? I wonder lately, yeah.
I've done them, but they were at work.
Oh.
Just some people that were, kind of doing stuff that was not satisfactory to me.
Yeah, so they may have been emails.
It should have been an email, but I did do it as a text.
Okay, well, no, okay, here is my theory about these texts.
Well, sometimes you want to write.
You're trying to be professional in your anger. And that's really what I think it is. It's a professional way to express anger because we all have those times where we feel like we need to express ourselves to someone in a way that takes a little more than like a few sentences to say.
Yeah.
Because you actually feel something. And the way that a lot of us speak now is through text. Right. I like texting. In fact, today I didn't answer a FaceTime from my sister because I just prefer. I'm not a huge FaceTimer.
Yeah, Cheney, that's cold, bro.
Well, I'm not a huge FaceTimer, and I knew that I like to text, so I would have answered a call, but FaceTime. But
FaceTime is like pretty invasive.
Now, FaceTime
I have a friend who
is a millennial dude. Okay. Millennials and parents and grandparents. I think that there's an age that missed the FaceTime, and it might be like from currently you're like between 30 and 50.
Yeah, I agree. Cheney, can you turn my exposure down a little bit on my camera? Hook me up, dude. But I actually have. Yeah, there we go. Hold on, let's match it up to yours. I love doing this technical stuff while the podcast is going.
I think that's like one of the best parts of our podcast. But I mean, yeah.
Hold on, let me say something.
Everyone.
I was gonna say I have a friend who, I'm gonna just say his name, Jason Sukoff. He.
Name drop.
So he was not my friend, and I was supposed to record drums on the JFAC album that's not out yet, or I'm not really sure what's going on with it. But anyway, I did do that. But he would, when he found out, I know we know who each other are, mutual friends.
Mm-hmm.
And when it first was confirmed that I was doing the album, I would get like all kinds of FaceTime calls from him,
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
totally.
Yo, dude, what is with this guy? He's fucking blowing me up. FaceTime? That's like, because getting a call is kind of like, it's kind of a lot, right? You're like, damn, a call. All right, we can do this call. Let's see what's going on. But FaceTime, now you're coming up in my house. I don't even know you, dude. But then, like, after I met him, and hung out with him for the 10 days that I was there or whatever, I was like, yeah, okay, for sure. It's FaceTime with him.
Yeah, it's FaceTime.
And I'll now when he FaceTimes me, I'll be like at my desk, like no shirt on, and he doesn't have one on either. And we're just like, he FaceTimes, it's just like, what up, man? And that's just his thing, He's a FaceTime guy.
I'll come in and say hello on him.
Totally.
Yeah.
And we've actually FaceTimed him on the podcast, just impromptu.
Yeah.
And it totally rules. And I actually really enjoy that about him.
Maybe I should start. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
My sister and I didn't have like a predetermined FaceTime relationship. Like we text a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, you guys might need to take it up to FaceTime. I might just, you know what, dude? I should start doing it.
We do this thing. I can't remember the name of the app, but my friend got me into it because she uses it, and we'll send like stories back and forth to each other. It's not Snapchat, but my sister and I do that.
You use that same app for your sister?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know the friend you're talking about for that app.
Yeah, totally.
But I guess that is, you can like do takes.
I don't do takes though.
Do you really not though?
Not usually, but
it's like let me do that again. Let me
usually
tell her
don't.
Again a little bit better.
I usually don't do takes, honestly.
I'm having a hard time believing that.
I don't, because a lot of the time it's like we'll be doing it back and forth, like right away.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get points across. I honestly haven't used the app in 5 months though.
So you haven't talked to her.
This
in 5
is
months.
Old news. I text her.
Okay, you guys moved over to text. So maybe in that relationship, maybe moving over to text was like a bigger step, because it was kind of this off-brand third party.
But we do both.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no like reason or rhyme.
What about
this
voice
stuff.
Messages?
Oh, I do those all the time. I do those a lot. Yeah. My best friend and I do voice messages like pretty constantly. My sister and I will do some. So
you have different means of communication for different people.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, I do.
Absolutely, I do. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, so.
Well, with you and me, it's all means are a go.
Yeah, we just do it all.
Calling, texting, podcasting.
Videos, music.
Yeah, musicking.
Moving. We just do all kinds of things together.
Every once in a while we move. Sometimes. It's been a while since we've moved, I guess.
It really has. 2 years. Mm-hmm.
I was actually wondering, when did we move in here?
We moved here October of 2019.
Okay, coming up on 2 years.
So what's insane to think about is that, first of all, since we started this podcast, we have not been on a tour.
I know, that is freaking crazy.
That is insane. We were supposed to, of course, but we all remember what just happened.
Well, what's happening, apparently.
And since we moved into this house, we have not gone on a tour.
I know. I was thinking about that today. I was actually, you know that I'm bad with timelines.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to think, when did we move in here?
Yeah.
Because then I was thinking, like, there's a ton of people who haven't, like, seen this house. Because it's a lot of our touring buddies or band lineups.
Right. No one has come here.
They haven't came here.
Yeah. They went to the barn, which is where we lived when we started this podcast. And if you are someone who started listening later into the podcast and haven't gone back to the first couple of episodes, before we moved into this house, for a long time we lived in like a barn, I guess is what it would be called.
Episode 2, barn animals.
Yeah, behind Naveen's mom's house.
That's right. Just living behind
Which kind of sounds more sad than it was. It was great. It was really great for us. We moved from LA, where we lived for a year and a half, to Santa Cruz, to a barn where your mom is a seamstress, and she used to use that as a sewing room. That's
right. And then she rented it to her musician son and his girlfriend. It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah. Sounds very,
See,
go-getters.
That's like Cheney and our like downfall. We don't really try to like sugarcoat or like beat around the bush.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like, we live in a barn behind my mom's house. That's
what
we're doing. I'm not trying to be like, I got a studio apartment in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Trying to make it sound all good.
I'm just living with, yeah.
Like, and I'm a musician, It's like, meanwhile, that doesn't really cover the bills,
Yeah.
I'm just an honest guy, I'll tell it like it is.
Yeah.
When things are covering it, then I'll tell you what's up.
I think the honesty is the best policy.
Yeah. Yeah. But the music thing is good. Dan, don't get me wrong. It's not a nothing.
Oh, not at all. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good vibe.
We're currently working on a lot on that music thing.
I know.
As
we
well.
are getting pretty far along too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't really talked about that in a while.
No, we're nearing on turn in. So we're hoping to we have a date that we're turning in the album, and we have an approximate release month. Yeah. So that's very exciting.
A lot of good stuff going on there.
Yeah.
A lot of I mean, I know it's good when I'm listening to it by myself in my room and jumping up and down.
Yeah. I have not gotten tired of listening to this material, and that's very, very exciting. And like, it's kind of a new thing for me. Well, it's not a new thing for me. I love all of our other stuff. And I think I've said this before, but there were always parts of other albums where there was like at least one riff that I was getting through. You know, I'm just getting through this riff.
Yeah, right.
I don't feel like there's one of those parts on this album at all. There's not anything that I don't love, anything that I don't feel is cohesive. Of course, when that goes out into the world, other people judge for themselves, but this is how I feel about our album.
Yeah, but they're wrong if they don't.
To me, they are, in my perspective. I'm just really, I think that it's just, you know, it's like conceptual in the way that it was written. Every song flows together really well, and songs echo back to each other, and it's just it's a prog album through and through, and a metal album.
It's the brutalest prog album
that we've
probably
made,
ever.
That we've made.
Probably ever. What other prog album is super brutal like that? Sorry to brag, but like I said, tell it like it is.
Time will tell.
Hold on. The thing about telling it like it is that
sometimes
you're
Naveen
allowed
brags.
to brag, because I'm willing to be like, yeah, I live behind my mom's house in a shed, and with my
I'm
girlfriend.
making progressive death metal.
Yeah, but so that earns me the right. My currency is being able to brag about my music being sick, right? It's not being humble; it's being honest.
Yeah.
So
the album is really exciting. Naveen's playing guitar on it.
Every day, I've been like just jamming all the time. It's been great because it's been getting me. I don't know. I'm not like, I can write stuff, you know, but I'm not like a professional guitar player.
Yeah.
And the way that I'm gonna sit there and be like, learn a whole song all the way through. Like, I'd only do that if I was like gonna make a video for it.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of weird because I'm not quite like I'm there where I want to be if I have enough time to like work everything out.
Yeah.
But it is sort of frustrating because I'll be ahead of myself and not really there with my like left hand, like where all the notes are, you know, if I'm using some like weird scale or something.
Yeah, but one thing that you do is if you aren't to that point with because I know what you're talking about, because I like to play drums a lot, and you have told me before, I understand. It's really hard, like knowing about all of this epic progressive music on drums, and you want to play that,
right? But
you're trying to play like Green Day, you know?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. So I'm a little bit above Green Day, but
yeah,
it requires like a lot of mental work.
Yeah,
like a regular guitar player would see what I'm doing and be bummed.
Well, what I was going to say to finish that is that if there's a part that you have in your mind that you want to do, but you're not physically doing it right away, like you will push yourself until you're physically doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's no doubt in my mind that if one day we were like, just for fun, even though I doubt we would ever do this because it's hard to lose you on a drum kit, let's get a drummer and let Naveen play lead guitar live.
That's the dream. I've always had that dream.
You would murder it. I'm absolutely sure that you would murder it. But that's not going to happen because
today
it's going to be hard to convince me to let you not play. I mean, not that it's just my choice, but dude, I feel so comfortable having you on drums.
I came through on guitar and it was like the hottest guitar player. Also, I have long hair now.
I just feel so comfortable having you on drums that it would be hard, even though it would be it's cool in theory for sure. But I feel more confident knowing that we can find someone who who can riff as well as you and has a great feel like you do with solos. I feel more confident in that than I do finding someone like that's Naveen behind the drum kit. And I don't just mean that in a technical proficiency way. I just mean you're stylistically awesome at drums.
I like where this podcast is going. This is the best podcast.
You always love that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. But I did. So, for instance, like the album kind of at the very end does like a really epic solo. You know, it's kind of towards the end of the album. So I've been spending a lot of time on this one solo. I probably worked on it over like a week.
But I think a lot of guitar players do this.
I do too.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just kind of comparing it to how it is on drums, where I don't spend like any time.
But
like, okay, I'll just do whatever comes to mind.
But also, a lot of drummers do spend a ton of time.
Yeah, I don't.
I think on guitar, you're a little more like in drums, you're a little more. You allow yourself to be a little more free, and on guitar, you're a little more of the like. I think this out a lot.
Oh,
it's why a lot of your drumming is so cool, and it comes out like jazzy and improvised. You don't always play the same stuff live. A lot of drummers do play the same stuff live, and that's cool, but that's not necessarily your style. You'll switch things up sometimes. On guitar, you're a little more like you think it out a little more just because it's not your main instrument.
No, I can't like. Hey, if you can do a solo, you know, let's hear you get loose. Or like, it's not gonna happen. I'm doing like, I could do it if it was like in, you know, major, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, but I was gonna say today I like finished the solo that I was working on. So I had my guitar and I was like just kind of playing the background riff, you know, and I was like all headbanging and stuff. And I took my ponytail out, and you didn't really notice because you were like busy doing something. But I like busted out of the room. And sometimes Shani has to like, you know, just kind of turn me off because it's a lot to deal with.
What do you mean?
No, I busted out of the studio room and I had my ponytail out and I was like straight up full headbanging while playing the song in the background, like on the monitors.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cheney, you sure you don't want to get some of this live? You know, and I was like... like just playing the riff.
I think I was
but you like looked up from your phone and we're just like, yeah, okay, and then just
because I was calling our vet.
Yeah, I know. Well, then I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then like I turned the music down and I noticed that you were straight up on the phone.
I was trying to book an appointment for our cat.
Yeah, by the way, with these cats going to the freaking vet, like they've been to the vet more times than I've been to a doctor in my whole life.
That's true.
And they're like one. Yeah. What is going on with that?
It's all a conspiracy for vets to get money. You know what I think is an actual conspiracy? When I took my cat Iggy, who I moved to California with, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Every time I'll take one of these cats, and it started with Iggy, every time I take one of these cats to the vet, she recommends this like $2,000 dental procedure.
Yeah, of course.
It's
that's
like these cats are a year.
Bullshit.
These cats are a year old. I do not need to get them a $1,500 dental procedure. I've been feeding them good food.
That is literally
insane.
They are
newborn cats.
Also, I remember when you brought that up for Iggy, and I was like, at the time, I needed a bunch of dental work.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Like, I haven't been to the dentist in like 10 years, and my shit is all fucked up, and we got to take the cat to get dentist. Not going to happen. Period.
It's a conspiracy.
No, it's
veterinary.
Like, it's just some weird upsell.
Yeah, I know.
It's really weird. And
it's
to me,
really
I'm
weird.
like, dude, these cats, I love them. Don't get me wrong, you know? You see me with cats.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
you're a cat
hugging
guy.
them. I love them. I love cats. I love all animals. But that doesn't mean that I need to take them to the vet every 6 months or whatever. If they wanted vets, they would have doctors that were cats.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
They would figure it out, dude. They'd figure it out. They don't have a cat
cats
doctor.
Themselves. Yeah, for sure.
So they're doing their thing, dude. They're taking care of their health the way they take care of their health.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. our cat Pappy would start a veterinary clinic. All right. So we've got I was thinking, if you guys have questions, send them to KoperCrabb Podcast@gmail.com. We get questions quite often. Our friend Gabriel sent us about 5 questions, and I'm
top commenter.
Yeah. I was thinking we should name this episode Gabriel's episode and just answer all 5 of these questions.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you send in 5 questions, I guess we're gonna
answer them all because I think they're all interesting.
They're pretty
questions.
good. I was looking at one of them, but I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna answer that.
Yeah, Gabriel's throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Gabe. I hope you go by Gabe for short. If you go by Gab, then thanks, Gab. If you go by Riel, thanks, Riel. If
Gabby.
you go by Brielle, thank you, Brielle, and thank you, Gabby. Gabriel.
Man, every week I'm like, I need to go through and make some new drops because I have a lot of good ideas for drops, but
not executed.
No, I never do it.
Unexecuted drops.
I never do it.
Can you play that one again? Someone hit me up and was like, you need to make Naveen play that some more.
I don't know who it is.
Oh, we forgot to tell everyone that we're really into this Falling in Reverse song.
Yeah. No, we'll get to the Falling in Reverse song.
Is it Escape the Fate?
It's actually Escape the Fate.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll show him.
That's right.
All right, so Gabriel's first question. What are some current TV shows you two have been watching? Anything binge-worthy?
Actually, so I just went back and rewatched, currently rewatching Eastbound and Down.
Great show.
And I don't know what it is about that show.
It's one of the funniest shows of all time.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is about that show. It makes me, it's like really comforting.
Huh, yeah.
It's like a comforting show.
Totally.
It's like how people probably felt when they were watching, like, I don't know, Full House or some shit.
Yeah,
Golden Girls.
I felt that way about The Office. It's just like a show I like to throw on.
Honestly, for me, it's kind of like The Office. Like, I could watch it, I've watched it a bunch of times, and I could continue to do that. But the 3rd season's a little weird.
Well, I would like, if you were out of town, when The Office was on Netflix, I don't know why they ever took it off.
Damn, I know.
When The Office was on Netflix, if you were like out of town and I was drawing or something, I would just throw on The Office at night. It was like my friends were there. I felt good.
Actually, now
comforted.
that you mention it, they should just have a channel that's just The Office.
They really should.
And it's like $1 a month.
I know, because so many people
Who wouldn't do that?
I'd do it. I would do it.
I'd do it.
The Office is a great show. Okay? And there are some people who don't like The Office, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you about what you should and shouldn't like. But to me, there's this particular episode where Angela, she like has one of those Nest cams. This was the first Office episode I ever saw. She has one of those Nest cams, and it's on her cats at home. And then she like has to go home to take care of her cats. And at the office, they catch her on camera licking her cats.
Yeah, yeah.
It cracked me the fuck up.
You were hooked.
It was great. I was hooked. But Mayor of Easttown.
There you go.
That is a show that
Good show.
Came out this year that we binged. We both were sick and we watched Mayor of Easttown.
I mean, Cheney and I do pretend to be sophisticated, and on certain episodes, not this one, obviously. Mm-hmm. And we'll try to act like we are learned and that we've read books and that we know things. But we'll watch some horrible fucking shows. Cheney.
Oh, God.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think I talked about this before. One of my latest obsessions was Wife Swap.
Yeah, that one. That's
what I love about Wife Swap
really
is that Wife Swap has a good wholesome message to it, and it's that if you trade places with someone, if you put yourself in someone else's shoes, who's completely different than you, for 2 weeks, and for the first week you live by their rules, and the second week you implement your own rules, then you will learn something about another family. You'll learn a lot about another family, and it might even change you.
This is what I'm talking about.
It might even change you.
Like we're
But don't you think that's true? Or intervention. What I learned from that is that a lot of the time, it seems. I mean, it might just be the people they pick for intervention. I don't know what the process is. But it seems that a lot of people who go down darker paths are suffering from not feeling a lot of love in their lives
100%.
and not feeling a lot of guidance, or that a lot of people care about them.
Yeah. I agree.
But people do.
That's
so,
why, yeah. So
we do
nice.
like crappy television shows, but I don't even know if those are crappy. They have good messages.
Okay, I know
One that has no message, though, that I fucking
90 Day
love.
Fiance.
90 Day Fiance. There's no fucking message to that show at all. But I will watch it. That's just candy.
That's just cotton candy.
It's just a visual
It's
candy.
horrible. It's like, all right, I want to have like my brain, I want to just shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch 90 Day Fiance.
Totally. There's music like that too.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to like actively engage and you just turn your brain off.
It's called all music, basically.
All music that makes money. That's for sure. I'm just
As
kidding.
the podcast goes on, we get a little more like test the waters on
Shady.
like talking shit. You know what I mean?
There's no shit talking. It's
like
all
the
love over here.
First like 50 episodes are like, you know, guys, you just hang in there. Everything is going to be great. Yeah, now we're like talking about how we watch reality TV and how all music sucks.
I do think that if you hang in there, everything will be great.
Actually, yeah. No, you're still going to get some of those positive moments.
How did we just graze over? Is that the word for it? How do we just graze over Mayor of Easttown?
Because we wanted to talk about...
It's Mayor like Mare. It's the name of a character. It's not. She's not the mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
And it's starring and directed or written by Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Of Titanic fame. Which, if you're our age, Titanic comes in 2 videos when you
2 VHS
buy it,
tapes.
2 VHS tapes.
Dude, oh my God, Cheney, you don't even know because you're not old school SoCal. AAA video.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
Oh, man. Like, remember those old videos, local video stores?
Hell yeah.
Where they had a certain smell.
Yeah, they were
and
really
you
small.
open the door and, like, bells would chime.
Absolutely. There's one in Indianola where my grandmother is from.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah.
It was that.
But they did not have all the bomb movies.
They didn't have any bomb movies.
They had nothing.
It
was mostly...
no bomb movies.
There was like this tooth that was a kid's movie tooth. Do you remember this guy?
What's a tooth?
The tooth was the main character. I think his name was like Timmy the Tooth. I don't know.
Timmy the Tooth. I think I've heard of that.
But those are the only videos I rented when I was at my grandma's house, and I love that shit. Timmy the Tooth.
All right, so that's another show you could check out, Timmy the Tooth. But yeah, it would be like they'd have the Titanic double cassette.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
The coveted.
And then when Titanic only came in 1 DVD, I was like, wow.
I know.
That's amazing. They got it all into one.
Now kids are like, what's a DVD?
I know. They only know about Blu-rays, and do they even know about those? They watch Netflix.
So. I don't know.
They know about streaming devices.
You know what's funny? Blu-ray was something that just skipped me. Because
yeah, totally.
It was like DVD, and then I got an Xbox,
and
it had Netflix stream, and then the streaming thing came out.
The thing about
and then I was
people,
like, cool, we're just doing that.
The thing about people who have Blu-rays is that the visual experience matters kinda to them.
Yeah,
they care
I know.
about it a little bit.
You're super pro Blu-ray.
Well, only because my friend,
Marvel comics.
Only because my friend has the craziest setup that you could ever dream of. Shout out Jesse. He's got like this
3Ds. It's 3Ds, right?
No, he doesn't have a 3D TV anymore. He bought this thing. It's an HD 4K Ultra. It's like a 4K
I don't know what
TV.
The flip that
and
is.
you know how like our TV, because we have a Roku TV, and you know how that was maybe $200 or $300, but it's a huge TV.
Yeah, it's
55 inches.
Yeah, it's silly for the price.
His is 55 inches, but it was like $2,000. And the thing about it, I think it's UHD is what it's called. So there's a special backlighting on it where all of the visuals look crazy in a colored way. And he has Planet Earth 2 on DVD or on Blu-ray. So he's watching this shit like purely high def. That's
like the classic.
It's on a
right?
4K UHD Blu-ray. And he threw it on the TV and we were watching it, and it's just like the yellows look like insane, like crazier than what you'd see in real life. Wow. And the blues look like that too. Just the way that it's backlit.
Don't you think it's
amazing.
better to just not see that, and then you just don't really know that exists? So I think our TV is the best.
I don't mind our TV. It doesn't that doesn't really affect my experience. It does for some people. They're real, they care as much about the visual experience of movies as they do about as we do about music.
That's true. But to me, it just seems like you get that TV, and then that's just your normal. That's your zero.
Yeah, those type of people, though, are going to invest probably for the rest of their lives.
They're always looking for the better thing.
No, in the visual field. It's like, what would be something that we're always looking for? I don't know if you...
I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe
I don't know if you
or,
and I have that kind of obsession, because
I really don't.
We both are kind of more into like listening to a lot of music, and we're just more into music, I think, than we are into visual
100%.
things. But when you see these visuals, like we did watch some of Avengers, it just seems to be how those people intended you to listen to or to watch the shows, in the same way that the way that albums are made, they're really made for people to listen to them on nice monitors or with nice headphones.
Right.
It's that kind of thing. Because don't you think that you may have been scarred in that way? You've listened to really crisp music on really good studio monitors.
This is true. This is true. I like listening to music on my monitors.
Right.
That's my preferred method.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, I don't know if it equates to what you're talking about.
I think there's a phrase for that.
Best monitors ever.
There's a phrase for that that's like, if the butterfly never sees if the caterpillar never sees the butterfly, does he know? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I don't know what the phrase is, but
so
all right. So that's the answer to that question.
I don't know what the question was.
That's what's great about questions.
Yeah. Okay, second question.
Mayor of Easttown, watch that. It really is probably the best show we've seen.
And she's saying Mayor of Easttown.
Mayor. Mare.
Because it sounds like you're saying Mayor of Easttown. Like that's like a Spanish kind of a name or something.
Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
All right, got you. Mayor, Mare. You said mayor.
Yeah, it's not
what I'm saying.
Are you hot? It's so hot in here.
No.
It's fucking burning up, dude. You're not burning up?
No.
I feel like I'm in a sweat lodge.
All right.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you the question.
Okay.
Question hog. All right, Cheney. This one's directly for Cheney.
Oh, no.
Do you enjoy suspicious quotation breakdowns?
Quote unquote breakdowns.
In songs and or playing them? Any good ones that come to mind?
Do I enjoy it? I don't ever think of that in a song. I don't like look for a breakdown in a song, and if they have a cool one, I'm going to throw this out there. SENTINELS, the band. They're our friends.
There you go. Good
they
one.
have a fucking
very
good breakdown.
I'm going to pull it up right now. I don't even give a shit. I'm going to fucking play that right now.
Shout out. Dave Rucky was on our, or Rookie. He says it Rookie, right?
Oh, really?
We talked about it in the episode. Damn it. This is why. See?
I don't like that because I like it more called Rucky. That's what I've always called them.
So SENTINELS rules. We love those guys. We've been on tour with
Sentinels.
them. I think they're on tour right now because I've been looking at Instagram and they've been posting tour photos. So I'm assuming that they are current.
But they have a really good breakdown.
They have a great breakdown, and it's one of my most inspirational breakdowns that I've heard.
And I'd be like...
It's before this, right? Yeah.
Hold on a second. Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Oh, here we go.
But yeah, whenever like someone would come to the show when we were on tour with them, I'd be like, oh, you probably want to go in there and watch this band.
Yeah.
Because they're way sick.
They're great.
And this part would come on. Here it is. So you think it's going to go one way, and then it's got the M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. This answers the question.
Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Do a reaction video of me to that. That is goddamn sick. That's what I like. I like when a breakdown will throw you a tempo change, will throw you into 100%. A different time signature. I like to hear mind-blowing shit.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that part, even though, that part has inspired like a lot of parts on our new album.
One part in particular, for
One
sure.
part in
It's
particular, which I've
Sentinels.
been meaning to actually, like, just take a video of it on my phone and send it to Dave.
Yeah.
And be like, dude, there's the Sentinels part.
I've told a couple of them that we have a Sentinels part.
Because we definitely do.
We do.
But yeah, that part is so sick. How could you not love that?
They're awesome.
Good call though, Chaney. Because when I saw that question, I was like, shit, I don't know, a good breakdown.
That's a really good breakdown.
But there's a lot of good breakdowns, and I'm not really a fan of the breakdowns that are like super ultra breakdown. You know?
Totally. That are like, you can tell that the band was like, that's the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is the breakdown.
Like, typically I'm more into the like dying fetus, like dang, 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 dang.
I just like groove. More than anything, I'm a sucker for groove. And it's our band is heavily groove influenced.
Yeah, but I can't say that we have, the new album has breakdowns. And what I would consider a breakdown is when basically what we just heard. So everything stops and it's like, dun 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 dun. You know, and it's like playing a guitar, and then the rest, everybody comes in and it does a little, it breaks it down.
Yeah, we have some of those.
But we didn't really have that until as of recent. And I will also say, breakdowns, it's a fine line between super sick and corny. Chaney, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think that's what I was getting at with the like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. The band is, I don't know. It's just some breakdowns are corny. Yeah. You know when you hear a breakdown that's corny.
But I think I like the idea of there being some sort of like climactic part.
Yeah.
So that could be a breakdown.
Totally.
Right? So I definitely do appreciate that. And I've come to like it more in my older age, if you can believe that. Because most of my old bands didn't have breakdowns. We're like, everybody was doing that. So we're like, yeah, breakdowns are stupid. We're not going to do that type of a vibe.
What I like in music and in death metal, a lot of death metal bands don't, really have breakdowns, but I just like a groove throughout songs. I think Surreption is like a really good example of that.
Definitely. Surreption
is a groove band, and that's my shit. So I don't know if people would call that, I don't know if I like breakdown. I don't know that I'm particularly drawn to breakdown bands.
But I do like it when bands have breakdowns.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like it for sure. But if you're listening,
just depends.
Yeah, because if you listen to a band that's like super known for the breakdowns, I feel like I'm kind of just waiting for it.
Yeah, it's like, where's the
when they're gonna get to that breakdown?
Yeah.
You know. So I kind of like it to be, I like music in general that's unexpected stuff happens.
I absolutely do.
You know, you're like, woo, that's what like piques my ears up.
Totally.
I'm like, ooh, I didn't know that was going to happen.
I like,
and especially with notes.
Damn part. Yeah.
And that's why I liked, I mean, even in all kinds of music, like with air, because you don't necessarily know for sure what the next note's going to be.
Totally.
You're kind of like,
serious mo.
Exactly. You're like, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's not what you thought, but it makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. I think that we have a very similar taste in that.
So if you can do a breakdown in the same way, where maybe you didn't see it coming,
Right.
And that's what's so sick about this Sentinels part. Because it's like dun.
That's
dun,
why it's so
dun,
cool.
And it's going straight, and then dun dun dun. And whoa, dude! It just flips it on you.
You know how sometimes you can listen to music and you just kind of start to the music. It's almost how they say that you get like nose blindness if you walk into a house and there's a smell in there and you smell it for a long time, then you start to become nose blind. I think that there's certain music where you can begin to become like auditorily blind. Like the music is there and it's existing, but nothing's really piquing your interest. So, I like parts that make me say, oh,
which is actually kind of funny because most listeners, I'd say in general, when you throw them those curveballs, they start to tune out.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I remember
typical
having
music
a
listener.
conversation with someone that I was working with. I was making an album with him, like producing.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I always like show music to my mom, and when I show her the more progressive chord progressions, I'll notice that she just tunes it out."
Yeah.
And I do think about that from time to time, and it's kind of true.
That makes sense.
Because a lot of people don't like not knowing what's going to come. Right. They like the standard chord progression. Yeah. They know what's coming.
Right.
So
I guess that's why the major scale is so.
Yeah.
Because it's so popular.
Nothing is going to happen that you didn't expect.
Right.
And I think with me, everything that I like is the opposite of that.
It's really the same for me.
Like with drumming,
I do like a lot of like drony, monotonous stuff.
Definitely.
But it's all got really cool melody to it. I think that's something that's really common in the type of music that I like is cool melody and a voice dancing everywhere. It's got to be something dancing everywhere, like a voice, like Joni Mitchell.
There you go.
You know, that's just, I don't know that Joni Mitchell was even though she was, Joni, which Chelsea Wolfe did a cover of Joni Mitchell's Woodstock. Great song. Really good cover. She put it out today.
Check that out. All right, so that covers breakdowns. Joni Mitchell is good. That's where we're at.
Very well known for her breakdowns.
That's how you answer
But I don't think
questions.
that, I think that the typical like breakdown band, even though I'm not really familiar with like who that would be, I don't think that that's to our taste. If you brought that band to one of us, I don't know if either of us would really dig it.
It wouldn't really, it might not be our thing. But like you said,
I
do love a good breakdown.
Well, I just think that both of us really like music a lot, and we're not super anti any type of music.
Not at all.
If a good song is a good song.
Like we said, we were listening to, we had a funny playlist last night. So we'll go on YouTube on our TV and just like click around. And so last night the playlist was Sepultura, Territory.
Good song.
Good song.
I never got into Sepultura.
And then somehow we got into...
But now I am.
No. Then we listened to that horror...
Ice Nine Kills.
Mm-hmm. And then from there it went to...
Ice Nine Kills had... their music video was really, really sick.
It's like some horror...
Super... It seemed like
I don't even
had
know
a good budget.
That is like a scene I know nothing about.
Same.
So I can't even speak
I just learned about it.
Yeah.
So.
And then after that led us to, not Falling in Reverse, the guy's other band. Escape the Fate.
Yeah.
Which Jane and I were like, this song kind of rules, straight up.
Let's listen to it.
So we're like listening to it today.
It just reminds me of like The Used and.
Yeah.
God, what's the name of that band?
American Rejects.
Not American Rejects. It was another band who they have an album that I really like.
Which is funny because that like super scene or whatever you would call that. I don't know what it is, but it sort of came like it wasn't really on my radar at all.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Never knew. I would see those bands' names on flyers and I'd be like, oh, these must be like local bands.
Yeah.
Because I've
Or like, oh, some metal band I don't know about.
Yeah.
But then like going back now and listening to it, I'm like, oh, that's like, it's totally not what I thought it was.
At all.
And then I loved how like the scene girls were so like
prominently featured.
Yeah, the scene girl in the that was like the vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like it cuts to like the crowd and it's like all these scene girls like kind of doing like a little, not a push pit, but like a little just getting all
because that was just as much a part of the culture back then as the bands.
And honestly, it's like, I don't know why. I just like, I love that. I loved it.
I love it too because it's crazy, first of all, that we've aged so far that that doesn't really exist anymore to my knowledge.
I don't know, because we actually, okay, so when it came on, I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, wow, there's still bands like this?
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, it's from like 2007 or something like that. And then at that point, I was pretty checked out of whatever was current.
Totally.
But I don't know. I'm not hating, dude. I thought it was cool.
Me either. I thought it was a good song.
I thought it was
great. A really good song.
We went back and listened to it today.
Yeah. So now we're on our third listen. I hope you're going to play some of it.
Oh, you want to hear some of it?
Yeah, I want to hear some of My Dear Juliet.
It's actually not what it's called.
There was a band that I listened to their full album for the first time. Like, do you remember when I drove up to meet you in Minneapolis?
Yeah, of course I do.
So on the way back, I was listening to this band and their album. God. Yeah,
we were actually going to do this. Watch, we're going to be like this. This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
We should have.
That would have been sick. Yeah, this is awesome.
We also found out what happens if we get.
You know why I think I kind of like it?
Why?
Because it's kind of like pop punk still.
Totally. It sounds like a band playing.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Exactly.
I like bands.
Whereas now the stuff that's like super on the
fringe.
No, like the scene kind of, it's not scene, but like stuff that's like really popular.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even sound like a band anymore. It just sounds like, I don't know, it's like trap or like, but it's...
Yeah, it's got really canned production.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my least favorite thing to hear. I like canned production on certain... I don't even know if I really like... It depends. I like canned production on certain things.
Yeah.
When you have a band and you're presenting as a band, I really like to hear the band play. You know, that's why I'm here. Otherwise, it's just a kind of music that I didn't really come here for.
Hold on a second. Okay, so then we got into... We had a really weird playlist last night. Do you remember that?
I do.
So we had Territory.
Yeah.
Ice Nine Kills.
Yes.
Not Falling in Verse, the other one.
Escape the Fate.
And then we got it to 6 Feet Under.
Oh, dude.
Somehow.
This song.
And this song fucking rules.
It's
straight up.
So good.
Yeah. I listened to it today on the way home. I was like, oh, I got to jam that. Dude, this thing rules.
And I was just saying that if I saw this video and listened to this music when I was 6, I would have like just totally freaked out in like this is horrific. Scares the shit out of me. I was horrified the first time that I saw Marilyn Manson on TV.
Oh, I totally remember that when I saw.
I was like, what is going on? This is scary. But I was so intrigued. And then I listened to Marilyn Manson.
Shit, I don't know if I can find
Tourniquet is the best Marilyn Manson song.
Okay, hold on.
Fight Me.
I did find it. It was on here. Tourniquet's the best, not Beautiful People.
No, it's Tourniquet. Yeah.
No, this isn't it.
Oh.
Wait. Is that it? No.
I think
it's on this album though.
Look up the videos.
This is it right here.
Yeah, this is definitely it. Oh, this
Dude,
song.
This thing goes hard. This thing jams. Animosity toured with 6 Feet Under.
Chris Barnes' little vocal technique that he does, that thing. We'll play it until that point.
Yeah, we definitely will. We got to get to the chorus.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're basically a show that we play music. We don't even care anymore.
We're a reaction channel. You know, you either live long enough to become the hero or what you hate, you know? I don't hate reaction channels, for the record. It's a joke.
Like, if you're just drinking a bunch of beer, you know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking if I was doing a metal DJ set,
yeah,
I think I would drop this.
Absolutely. You know I want this on vinyl.
We got to get to the chorus, though.
We're already getting funded or whatever.
What about when he has like that fluttering thing going on?
That's what I'm talking about. That technique. Yeah, I love it.
Here comes that.
I love that. Yeah. God, that song rules. Okay.
That was our playlist last night.
Yeah.
That's where we were going with. What
My
did we go
dear
anywhere?
Juliet.
Did we go after that? Did we listen to ISIS after that, right?
Yeah, we went to ISIS.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to tell my kids this was the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. So that was a little playlist. Maybe we should make that into a KoperCrabb playlist.
We should. That's a sick playlist.
It's kind of a good playlist.
Dude, it's good.
And then, of course, Sepultura. But I never realized, actually, listening, Sepultura was like the first real heavy band that I liked.
Yeah.
And like going back and hearing that song, I never realized how much of an accent that guy has.
Dude.
Because you're like a lyric person.
Yeah.
And you were like, what's he saying? Like, you couldn't even understand what he was saying.
No, I could some parts.
It was amazing. I never even noticed it as a kid. Because I think when you're a kid, you're a little more, you just like go with it.
Yeah.
Kind of like in a dream or something.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, that was a little taste of our night. Actually, maybe tonight we should do a similar one.
The question was, do you enjoy breakdowns?
So yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, that Escape the Fate song has kind of a little bit of a breakdown at the
My
end.
dear Juliet.
He starts screaming now. He busts it down.
Yeah.
And it's like, ah.
Is it him or do they have another vocalist that does the screams?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
You know how there are a lot of bands like that, the singer and the screamer?
Yeah, that always bummed me out.
I know. I wanted the singer to do
Honestly,
it all.
when I heard that the singer of Dimmu Borgir didn't do the clean singing parts, I was kind of bummed. Because I was like, that would be sick if he just like busted broke into this like operatic man singing.
Mm-hmm. You know what I don't understand is people who don't like, they completely forbid themselves to enjoy music that has singing and screaming in it. Or if a band that previously only screamed, if they have some singing in it, they're like, no.
I'm kind of one of those people.
No, you're not.
A little bit.
No, you aren't. You aren't.
A little bit like that.
I think it's weird if you go from like all screaming to all singing. Though Deaf Heaven
I guess I'm
just
not
put out a killer record.
That's true. That is killer. I'm totally not like that at all.
You're not like that at all.
I'm open-minded.
I like when bands start to
That's what I'm saying. I'm open-minded. If I hear
new.
a good song, I'm into it. I don't care.
I like a good song.
I like a good song.
That kind of holds my attention and intrigues me.
Exactly.
I like an intriguing song.
I like to be intrigued.
It's like, oh.
I like to be intrigued.
They did that. That's really cool. And not anything that I ever would have thought of.
Yeah.
Really
That's why I
cool.
listen to Soul Niger.
That's right, brother.
And Air.
That's right.
I guess that's like our two top favorites, right? Soul Niger, Air.
That's weird that we share them.
That would be the tops. And then you got some Zappa in there.
Destroy the Opposition. Very high up there.
Soul Niger, Air.
In this household.
Destroy the Opposition. In this household.
We were going to talk about, because of John Gallagher. John Gallagher has hair.
Yeah, so John Gallagher looks all like peaceful.
Yeah. And we were going to be like, We were imagining if we had John Gallagher on the podcast and we'd be like, man, that hair and beard, it's really sending shockwaves through our household.
No, it started, dude, it's sending shockwaves that you have long hair. Because this is the vocalist of Dying Fetus. He's always had like a shaved head, like with a razor. And then now it's like, you can grow hair? You just figure he's bald.
Yeah.
And now he's got like long hair. And we were like, it's sending shockwaves through the metal community. And then Janie was like, well, at least in this household. Best band ever, by the way.
Oh, best.
Like,
we have a low key. We have a cover up of Dying Fetus because we both love Fetus.
Totally. Now that we play music on here, I'm gonna play it because I don't give a shit.
Our cover?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Let's see what happens if you type in Dying Fetus cover. Ours is the third one.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That's so cool. The third one, if you type in Dying Fetus cover. Damn. What if I was doing like how people will do cover videos? I'd do it like this. Are you filming yourself right now?
Both of us.
Oh. I'd be like this.
I mean, we kind of nailed it on this, dude. Come on, bro.
I wish I was just about to jump across the table and start a mosh pit.
You know what's funny about this, Jenny? When I was recording this, I was actually just doing it to make a video for my Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And then, first of all, when I was learning the riffs, I couldn't like track it because I just wanted to sit there and play it so I just couldn't stop playing it. And the next day, my fucking neck was hella sore because I would just learn one of the riffs and then put the song on and just like full body headbanging in and playing the song at the same time.
That's so tight.
Because it was so fucking sick.
That's such a good song.
God.
All right, so
and then actually that like got a lot of views. They shared it. Dying Fetus shared it.
They did.
So it got a lot of views, and we were like, Cheney, we finally figured out how to make a hit song. Don't play one of our songs. Oh yeah, but I was gonna say, I was like, dude, Cheney, I think this is actually too sick for me to not have you do the vocals on. And then that's it. Rest is history.
History.
All right, we rounded out all these questions.
How was the name Entheos decided? What were some runner-ups?
Do you remember this question? Because this is actually pretty funny.
Go ahead.
So Frank thought of Entheos.
Frank Costa, yeah.
Frank Costa. And the runner-up, it wasn't a runner-up, but what I wanted to name the band was Darknet.
No. Hell no.
Ever Darknet, dude, that's pretty hard.
I remember.
That's pretty hard. I think Frank was into it too.
I don't think so. We wanted Entheos.
Well, every name that Cheney's hard to please in the naming realm.
The thing about Entheos is that it just
it's better than Darknet in the long run.
And
I'll put it that way.
Just the meaning around it is a lot better, and I felt like it encapsulated the thing a lot more, and my lyrical content, because I tend to write a lot about. I guess you could say they're philosophical concepts, but it's like it's about life and about seeing lightness and darkness and things that have to do with that.
Right.
That even though these things will happen to us in life, it's best to always, come out of these with a good outlook on things.
Right.
So it just fit the entire vibe a lot more.
It's a positive name.
Yeah.
It's positive.
Yeah.
So we like it for sure. And I love the name.
It fit the vibe perfectly.
It's a good name.
I love it.
I don't have to say like, oh, my name's like Dying Fetus or something like, brutally murdered person or something like that.
Right.
So, like when I'm at work and stuff, like to me, yeah, Dying Fetus, sickest band.
Yeah.
Great band
Best
name, love
band.
it. But like when you're telling people who aren't metal, they're kind of like, whoa, that's a little weird. Then they think about what it actually means. You know, I don't do that.
I
just hear a word and it sounds cool, and I'm like, that's sick.
I have this Fetus shirt that it's like, it's probably from 10 or so years ago, and it's a baby sucking on the teat of its mother, and its mother's teat is like all veiny and dark and poisonous, and it's feeding into the baby like it's an infection.
Damn.
And I would wear it in public, and if people would stare at my shirt, when I wear death metal shirts and I'm in public, I don't remember what's on them. I don't think about it. But you know how sometimes you'll catch people like giving your shirt a second glance, like, what the?
Yeah.
That was one of them. I
you
love
know
that
what?
shirt.
I don't think I've ever noticed that. Because I'll wear metal shirts and I'm just like...
I bet if you roll outside with that puritanical shirt up to the grocery store, you might have some people.
I've always wanted that shirt.
That's such a cool
like
shirt.
My sought after shirt.
Yeah. I really like the new Cannibal cover too. I really want that on a shirt.
Well, you had it on a shirt, did you not?
No, not the
uncensored.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
You want to round this out? You want to finish it up, or you want to save these for another day? We're gonna get through all 5.
Yeah, let's finish them up. 106.
So we're an hour deep.
Any shows you plan on going to soon? We're not going to any shows soon because we were going to go see Earth Crisis in Philly in a couple of weeks, and that got canceled. And we were gonna see.
Sorry, that's just.
We were gonna see King Woman in Oakland, and that got canceled. So, there you go.
So every show is getting canceled, and we're not going.
Were we active in mosh pits or more of an on the side or watch the show type people? I used to love mosh pits and like dancing as good as I could sometimes when I was a kid.
Well, I'll tell my classic Converge story.
I do a lot of stage diving and crowd surfing.
There you go. Well, I was like, my old band went on tour with Converge in Europe, and they gave us a bunch of drink tickets. And I just had all the drink tickets on me. I don't know. I didn't really distribute them correctly or whatever. And I was just at the bar, and I was like by myself. And I was like getting some drinks, and I was like, yeah, all right, I'm feeling kind of.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
I love Converge, one of my favorite bands.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, dude, fuck this. I'm about to mosh. I'm gonna fucking hit the pit. And I run, and the thing is, in this venue, you had like the stage, and then there was like the crowd. And the bar was kind of like running right like that. So I was really close to the stage and the pit at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah. I run straight over, get to the pit. As soon as I get there, just smacked straight in the face, smacked in the fucking mouth.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, dude, I just had a fat lip for like a couple days.
Damn.
And I was like, all right. I think that was probably the last time I tried to mosh.
That's when it happens. Liquid courage.
Yeah,
if I have a little bit of liquid courage, I might get in a pit.
Yeah.
I don't really know. The older I get, and I wear heels to shows a lot. Especially if we're not on tour, I'll wear heels to a show. If we're on tour, for instance, we went on tour with the Black Dahlia Murder, and I'm pretty sure I got a little liquid courage and got in a pit on that tour. And Dillinger, when we went on tour with them, I for sure stage dived.
Well, I for sure thought about getting in the pit.
But
so does that count?
I'm a little more like bold.
That's true.
I will do bold stuff if I get
That's true. All right, Shani, I want to end it because I want to go pee.
All right, yep, or ending this one. All right, have a good week, you guys. Thanks for listening. Love you guys.
Yeah, dude, y'all are sick, and we're going to be doing this podcast for a long time.
For the rest of your life.
We're really, we've been talking about it. It's not going anywhere.
We love you guys. Have a good week.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Do it up. Smile a lot.
See y'all pretty soon.
See y'all pretty soon.